Anybody there? Anybody there? Hello, hello. Anybody there? Told y'all I was gonna be on Facebook Live. I mean, not there. Well, I'm gonna be doing this episode of the Black Tent, talking about the divine flow of love, and this is day 3. And I decided to do this one live on Facebook. Hello. I decided to do this one live on Facebook because I wanted to see if I can get some interaction, number one. And number two, for me, it's always hard for me to talk to people I can't see. So Facebook Live is like cool. I can do that because my friends in Facebook are people that most people that I know or know of or know somebody who know them, versus Periscope. You could be getting anybody on there, anybody, and I'm like, don't know these people and I'm scared. So this is like a part of my coming out of my layer, one of these layers I got under my skin we were talking about in the second week, starting this week. And he's talking about our skin. So today I wanted to talk about unconditional love. This was a real aha moment for me. Unconditional love. And the difference between love and unconditional love. Love is basically a feeling, right? You know, you fall in love, it's a feeling, But the unconditional love is really an action. It's an action. It's that agape love. And I think that's the love that God has for us. It's like, I love you unconditionally of what you do. You know, I still love you. And that type of love is, I think I always got it. Why do my mother have this loud phone answer machine? Okay, start again. So I want to talk about unconditional love. How unconditional love is basically more of an action instead of a feeling. Love is a feeling. We fall in love with our spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever. We fall in love. But the unconditional love, I guess, is the love where it doesn't matter what they do, what they say, you're going to love them anyway. And the thing that was the aha moment was unconditional love you probably really can't have unless you love yourself unconditionally. And I think that's the part that was always missing for me. I never loved myself, you know, always found something wrong with myself. So how was I supposed to love someone else unconditionally, and then I couldn't love myself? So, but when you learn how to love it, and that's basically saying that when you have unconditional love, no one can really hurt you. When you love yourself, regardless of your flaws, no one else can say things to you that will hurt you. Because you can take what they say, you're like, yeah, I got you, boo, but I love you anyway. I understand what you're saying. That's your feelings. but I love you anyway. Because you know yourself. And so I think when we learn how to love ourselves unconditionally, life can be so much happier. We can be so less stressed. Um, the words of others won't form us and create things in our mind to have us thinking that we're someone who we're not supposed to be. So, an unconditional love keeps you in good health. It just keeps you lighthearted. Regardless of what anybody say to you or do to you, they can't change your outcome because, okay, I know what type of person you are. I know this your way. Love you anyway. So, I'm cool because I love myself unconditionally regardless of what you say. But, you go on. And that hurt, that pain, that anger, you won't let enter into your body. You won't, and when you don't let that enter into your body, when you don't let that enter into your body, you don't let disease enter into your body. So, and it's all like the ability to forgive others, the ability to understand others, the ability to however they are, you don't feel the need to correct them or control them or try to change them. You just let them be them. You love them like afar from a distance. But that's how they are. And you can still feel good if you love them, but it's an unconditional love. It's not a love where you're trying to change anybody. It's just that agape love, right? So, focusing on a positive action for someone else makes us feel good about ourselves. It lowers our stress level and it keeps our heart rates down. Studies have even shown that this love can reduce our cholesterol levels. Hey, Bammy, hi, cuz. And of course, so that reduces the chances of having a heart attack. Why would you let someone else's words, their actions, create disease and give you ill health? If you just start thinking in the way of unconditional love, that can set you free from a lot of things. But the key is loving yourself. That's the hard part to me. I always been able to love someone unconditionally as I thought that I was, but I didn't have that shield. I didn't have that shield of the agape love for myself. So when someone was mean to me, I would let that meanness into my body. I didn't have that unconditional love for myself to block that meanness. And so starting to love yourself has to be like a daily intentional habit. And when we start reaching that season in our lives, 40 and over, I know for me, things started happening which made you even not like yourself even more. Almost like I can't even be cute no more. I can't wear makeup because I'm sweating it all off. Or it's just hot. It's just you irritated, you stressed out. How in the world are you supposed to have that unconditional love for yourself during that season? So came up with this. I think during this season is a season that God has given us as women to be in another place with ourselves, to be alone with ourselves, it's like a drawback. He's drawing us back from the things that we were imposed on in the garden, after the garden, Eve eating the fruit, Now you're going to be having like blood and babies and da, 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 all that stuff. So now it's a drawback. You stop the bleeding, or you're stopping the bleeding. It's just like this pull back. Like he's pulling us back to his agape love. And our bodies is going through all these changes, is taking out all this stuff that we have created from when we started our one of our other seasons, when we started becoming women. When we are born, we're in a season. We're in the season of growing, of finding ourselves, of discovery. We're in that season. And then we get into, we start becoming a woman, and we start, figuring out what life is all about, and some of us get married and we have babies and we go through that season. But this one, I think, is so Jesus-like. I mean, it's just so inspirational to me, and I'm so thankful that I'm being able to experience this season on this level because of all of the stuff that I heard before about what you're gonna go through, and you're gonna need to take this and do that, and it was just like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather just go ahead and bleed to death. But it's not that way if you don't have that into your spirit from the beginning. So now I try to look at it every time I feel an emotion or I feel a flash or something. I immediately try to think that God has just had me in a season of pulling me more towards him. He's like cleaning us out for like the grand prize. It's like, when we like just be with him. But it's just this pulling out of all this stuff we have carried around all of our lives and held in our bodies, and just showing us a different way of how to love ourselves. And so showing us that unconditional love, that agape love, that regardless of what you have done back then, regardless of who have hurt you, regardless of whatever things that went on in those other seasons, this season is your agape season, the pulling out, the loving yourselves to see his agape love. It's taking away all of the stuff that we have been burdened with and carrying around with all these years. And if you haven't gone to the level of the complete stop of menstruation, or you like going into where, it's here, it's there, it's coming, it's going, it's getting you all confused, I think you should take that into like, oh man, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming, and try to go with the flow. Go with the flow of everything, that divine flow of love. So I hope you guys will check out all the other videos. They will only be up for a short while because something special is happening at the end of this 30 days of the black tent that I'm doing. But you can check it out on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook page. And I want somebody to show me some love. And so this has been really hard for me. I'm telling you, really hard the last 2 weeks that I've been doing this, because, and isn't that with things like you trying to do, like I'm doing this thing, trying to help somebody, or I'm trying to show somebody something, or I'm speaking here, or what, and nobody is, you feel alone. You feel as though whatever you're doing isn't making a difference to someone. You feel as though, why am I doing this? Why am I here? And because you don't get that unconditional love back. So I want everyone on my Facebook page to show me some unconditional hearts. Love. Hearts. And, because I love all you guys. Every time someone reaches out to me to be my friend, I just sit there and like, wow, you want to be my friend? You want to be my friend? And regardless of what your intentions are, regardless, it's that interaction. It's that as humans, we got to be interactive. And I think a lot of times we lose that with social media. You know, we're so busy just interacting with our phones. We don't really reach out and interact with the people. We got to start thinking that's a person on the other side of that like, or on the other side of that message that they wrote on there. There's a person that just did that. That wasn't your computer that wrote that. It was actually a person. And to so show them some unconditional love, you know, interact with each other, like their pages, like their, you know, or dislike it or whatever. Just love, divine flow of love. Because you find out when you do that, when you let that flow out, it will start coming back towards you. Things in your life will start happening. Happiness, things that you have been desiring, your purpose, your needs, your wants, your goals. Things will start changing when you start giving it. You'll start receiving it. So I hope that you guys will have a beautiful day, and I will be back tomorrow. Maybe not on Facebook Live. Maybe I'll try me some Periscope. So anyway, I'll talk to you later. Peace.